Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Planet Film Network. I am one of your hosts, Sean Monk.
I'm your other host, TJ Cornwell, and tonight, we're going to be giving you our review of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Okay, so Antman and the Wasp Quantumania for me, I thought it was a blast. I know a lot of people online, there's a lot of mixed feelings, mixed consensus, or I guess lack of consensus online about this movie. Basically, everything ranging from genuine criticisms of the movie that I can see, and I can not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily agree with them, but I can see where they're coming from. To just flat out, there's going to be those people out there just MCU, MCU bashing in general who've been doing it forever,
Yeah.
or this movie in particular feels a lot like just man, everything post Endgame is just blah. And I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. I just did not see that with this movie. I know a lot of people. I know I'm kind of giving counterpoints to my point rather than my point, but um, I know a lot of people saying like how chaotic they felt this movie was and how just all over the place they thought it was. I thought it was easily the least chaotic three-act movie structure of the MCU in a while. I think that I've said before that Black Panther Wakanda Forever for me was, a good movie, but I think I liked this movie more than I liked that movie. And then in terms of Love and Thunder, not even comparable. And then I would say Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness for me would be on more even footing, but I still think I like this one a little bit more. I have seen it twice now. So that's kind of where I'm at with where it falls for me in the Phase 4, Phase 5 post Endgame argument. Um, but yeah, I guess we'll dive into some of our deeper thoughts in a little bit here. But TJ, just overall, what did you think of this movie in general, and how does it kind of stack up to some of the stuff we've been seeing lately from Marvel for you?
Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Uh, I thought at the end of it, to me it was kind of a middle of the pack MCU movie. I didn't think it was bad. Like I said in my TikTok review, I don't
Mm-hmm.
think it's as bad as people are saying. Like I feel like people have it like bottom three, like Marvel. That's not. I don't think that's true at all. But I also
Yeah.
wouldn't put it in top tier. Like I wouldn't put it with the Winter Soldiers and the Infinity Wars.
Mm.
But I also again wouldn't put it with the Black Widows or the Dark Worlds. I think just kind of in that little spot where it's like like, oh, okay, that was fine. I didn't laugh all that much, to be honest. Some of the humor got me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Specifically just kind of that Baskin Robbins stuff I thought was really funny for some
Yeah.
reason. It really worked for me in that way.
Yeah.
I probably could
Beautiful
have watched a whole
callback to the
movie
first
about
one.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, Kang's the standout. Obviously, you go to this movie to see Jonathan Majors in this role.
Mm-hmm.
He's very. The word that came to me when I was watching it was he's very stoic. And that might be like just a weird word to use, but
No, yeah, I
I
get
just
that.
feel like he has so much like you want to listen to him speak, and when he talks, you're very engaged in what he's saying, and he and obviously Jonathan Majors is a really good actor, and I thought he nailed hit this out of the park. But everybody else was in it, really good. Evangeline Lilly, she was kind of sidetracked, it seemed,
Yeah.
which was very very odd.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, one thing I did say, or one thing that I was thinking, I know everybody was like, well, why is it called Ant-Man and the Wasp if the
Oh, here we
Wasp
go.
isn't
Are
even
we gonna have
like.
the same thing?
I was
I feel
gonna
like
say, well, wasn't Michelle Pfeiffer at one point the Wasp?
there you
So
go.
then
That's what
technically,
I
it
literally
is
wrote
Ant-Man and the
that.
Wasp.
I will say that consensus has come out on Twitter, or
Right.
just in the movie sphere. But these are the partial of the notes that I took when I was watching it. That was terribly in frame. But I literally wrote Ant Man and the Wasp, and I wrote Ant Man parentheses Scott Wasp parentheses Janet 3, and then
Yeah.
that's what I titled my notes. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, just to hop on that quick sidetrack, which I'm sure we can talk about later, but I definitely want to circle back to that of the fact that really, if you look at this movie, it is Ant Man and the Wasp. It's really Scott, Janet, and Kang's movie, which is
Hmm.
great. I don't see how that is a. I see the like I said. Sorry, I won't. But just we'll table that for later. The whole Janet versus Hope presence in the story. I think we can talk about
Mm.
a little bit.
Yeah, I thought everybody was, good in it. I didn't. I'm with a lot of people where I didn't really see how Catherine Newton added to the character of Cassie in any way. You probably could have just left the previous actress in the role.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was a fine movie. I liked the post credit scenes. And this isn't a spoiler, obviously, because he was in the trailer. But for me, MODOK just didn't work.
Really?
Until the very end. Until the end.
Okay, yeah.
Like those
That's
last
fair.
few quips back and forth, that worked for me.
Mm-hmm.
But everything else didn't work for me. But yeah, overall, I thought it was middle of the pack movie, and I'm excited to see what Kang is like, what more they're gonna give us, because
Yeah, like
he's
how
very
deep
compelling.
is this well gonna kind of go?
Yeah.
Which I think is a great segue for us into the spoiler section here. But before we go, for those who haven't seen Antman yet, which could be some of you out there, what are you thinking 4 out of 5?
I gave it 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5. I think I actually can't remember what I gave it on Letterboxd. I think it was a 4, and I think I'm gonna stick with that. I think after 2 viewings, 4 out of 5 for me seems pretty
4, yep.
solid. And that's to me, that's on my personal like MCU scale, right? So I also gave something like the I don't know, I don't know if this is, but just throwing a random thing out there, like something like The Irishman or like The Departed or something, that like a movie I really really love. I could also give like something super prestige like that a 4. Just for me, usually when I'm going on Letterboxd to rate things, I subdivide genre or franchise or something. So it's like a solid MCU 4 out of 5 for me. I really enjoyed it. A lot, almost actually everything with MODOK like worked perfectly for me. But again, we will talk about it because I do see valid criticism with that, of course. But guys, that will do it for our non-spoiler section of this. We will clip this out as its own separate video up on the channel, followed by our full spoiler discussion on the channel. So if you are just joining us for the non-spoiler section, thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, subscribe down below, and then go see Antman, of course. It's only 2 hours, pretty quick. Come back, watch our spoiler discussion, comment your thoughts below and all that, and we will be right back with you in that video.